everyone, and welcome back to NexGen News. I'm Giovanna.
And I'm Trenton.
And this is NexGen News.
We have a journey of a show for you today,
including going to space and back.
Grab your spacesuit, because we're about to blast off. Hey, Giovanna.
Yeah, Trenton?
Do you know about the inspirational quote, "It's about the journey, not the destination"?
Totally. It's meant to inspire people to focus on the present.
Exactly. But today, it's all about the destination, space.
Well, Trenton, you know getting to space is a journey itself with lots of ups and downs and atmospheric shifts.
How can you not be excited thinking about being out there in the endless expanses of the universe?
Pump the brakes, Luke Skywalker. Did you hear about the latest SpaceX test?
No, but I'm afraid you got some bad news for me.
It's not all bad. SpaceX performed its third Starship prototype test launch from Boca Chica, Texas. The test launch appeared at first to be a complete success, with the Starship SN-10 blasting off into the outer atmosphere before it safely flew back to Earth, where it managed for the first time to achieve an upright landing. Unfortunately, less than 10 minutes later, the SN-10 exploded into a massive fireball, just as its predecessors before, the SN-8 and the SN-9 respectively. Elon Musk, the billionaire founder of SpaceX, tweeted, "RIP SN-10, honorable discharge." It wasn't all bad news, though, as this was the most successful test of the 3 to date. When completed, the SpaceX Starship will stand 394 feet tall when paired with its first stage launch booster and will be fully reusable with the ability to carry passengers and up to 100 tons of cargo to the moon and even Mars. The Starship is set for its first orbital trip by the end of the year, and in 2023, Japanese billionaire Yusaku Maezawa is set to make a trip around the moon, and he's currently looking for 8 flight crew members.
Where do I sign up to go to space to Yusaku? Sounds like a great graduation trip.
Well, I hope they're able to start landing those starships without exploding if that trip's only 2 years away.
I have faith they could get it done, because the new Perseverance rover sure is.
Oh yeah, that rover that landed on Mars a while back.
Yep, made it to the destination. Now it's ready to get to some work. NASA's Mars rover is a 6-wheeled astrobiology probe that's about the size of a car. But unlike a car, this guy took his sweet time to travel 21.3 feet over the course of a half-hour test drive inside the Jezero crater, which is an ancient lake bed and river delta. Los Angeles-based missions manager at NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab rolled the rover 13.1 feet, turned it 150 degrees to the left, and then drove it backwards another 8.2 feet. Anais Zarifian, who is the test manager for JPL, said it went incredibly well. The rover was able to capture an image of the reddish soil and large dark boulders in the foreground, and layered rocky outcrop that marked the river delta's edge. So far, the Perseverance and its hardware are working according to plan, but the team still has some more equipment checks to run before sending it on a more lengthy trip, including a robotic arm and drill settings that will help it collect rock samples and search for fossils of microbial life.
That's pretty cool, but also sounds like part of the journey.
Yes, but they're already in space, so now it's about doing space stuff.
Right. Well, I've got another part of the journey to space for you.
Ooh, I can't handle another explosion.
Don't worry, this is only minor.
Whew.
NASA has had to push back the launch of the next crew heading to the International Space Station by 2 more days to April 22nd. The original launch date was meant to be in late March, but in late January it was pushed to April 20th. This is only the second operational NASA crew, known as Crew 2, to travel to the station aboard the privately owned SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket tipped with the Crew Dragon capsule. The reason for the delay is to keep sleep shifting for the crews of astronauts to a minimum, and the fact that flight times are driven by orbital mechanics, which is very complicated, but for TLDR, too long didn't read, it has to do with a series of loops or orbits that propel the ship on its journey towards the International Space Station, which is always moving. It's not like a bus that comes every 20 minutes, it's like trying to catch a bus that's always on the go. Once they finally arrive, they will join the first SpaceX crew, Crew 1, where they will remain in orbit for 6 months, and Crew 1 will return home in early May.
Well, I hope they don't push back any further, or there won't be anyone to greet them at the door.
I don't know if they can leave the space station unmanned. Who would water the plants?
Speaking of water, do you know that scientists have found a super-Earth?
Super-Earth? So it's covered in water like our Earth, but bigger and better.
Not even a little bit.
Huh?
Let me explain. A planet called Gliese 486b is classified as a super-Earth, which means it's bigger than our planet, but not nearly as big as planets like Neptune and Uranus. It's an exoplanet, meaning that it orbits a star that is not the Sun. Scientists have discovered more than 4,300 exoplanets. Some are rocky like Earth. These are the types that could support life, and others are giant gas planets like Jupiter and Saturn, which cannot. Gliese 486b is located only approximately 26 light-years away, making one of the nearest exoplanets to Earth. It orbits a red dwarf star that is smaller, cooler, and less luminous than our Sun. Scientists believe that this super-Earth is hot and dry like Venus, with a surface temperature of about 800 degrees, a 70% stronger gravitational pull than Earth, and that it has possible rivers of lava, like a nightmare. The physical traits and location of Gliese 486b makes it perfect for exploration using the next generation of spaceborne and ground-based telescopes, like the James Webb Space Telescope that NASA is slated to launch in October. These could provide data to analyze atmospheres on other exoplanets, including ones that support life. It is unclear if Gliese 486b has an atmosphere because it orbits so close to its star, and, as a result, might burn away the gases that create an atmosphere. But scientists believe that the planet's very strong gravitational pull might keep the atmosphere intact. Chemical compositions of a planet tell you a lot about whether a planet is capable of supporting life, and while Gliese 486b is definitely not, it is an important neighbor to study along with other exoplanet atmospheres when searching for markers that could support extraterrestrial life.
Wow, like E.T.?
Yeah, I guess so. You know, the journey is as important as the destination. Because as we've seen, getting to space is hard work, and then when you're there, it's like the work is just beginning.
The destination is the journey. It's almost like it's an infinite loop.
Giovanna, are you okay?
I think I'm too young to be having such an existential moment.
Giovanna, what are you doing? We're live.
Sorry, I was just finishing a game. Piggy, Roblox is addicting.
You play Roblox?
Yeah, it's only the best gaming platform in the world. There's so many amazing games to choose from. Let's take a look.
Hi, my name is Sawyer, and my favorite Roblox game is Superhero Tycoon.
Hi, I'm Evelyn, and my favorite Roblox game is Climb Time.
My favorite game on Roblox is The Mimic because it's fun and scary.
Hi, my name is Sienna, and my favorite game on Roblox is Wings of Fire.
Whoa, I guess Roblox is super popular.
It is. Let me tell you more. It's estimated that about 75% of kids between the ages of 9 and 12 years old use Roblox. In August 2020, they had 164 million monthly active users. Access to the platform is free, but you can buy premium plans or buy Robux, a currency to spend on outfits and other fancy extras to level up the gaming experience. Something you may not know about Roblox is that the games are designed by many users. If you were to make your own game, you could share it on Roblox using their game developing tool. And in March 2021, Roblox went public, which is a big deal.
Gotta get my hands on some of that Robux. But what does it mean they went public? Did they open a store?
Not exactly, but truth be told, I'm not 100% sure what going public means. Luckily, our friend Oscar does. Let's now head to Oscar for this week's edition of NexGen Finance.
Hey everyone, Oscar here for a brand new edition of NexGen Finance. As you've heard, Roblox went public. But what does going public mean exactly? Well, let me tell you, when a company goes from private to public, shares of the company become available for the public to buy. Meaning anyone with money to invest can buy shares of its stock on the stock market. The price of a stock is ultimately determined by what people are willing to pay, and this price can fluctuate daily. When you buy stocks, you are investing in the company and essentially trading money to own a piece of the company. Crazy, right? You can own a part of a company. Well, before you get too ahead of yourself, usually the number of shares a member of the public can buy is a super small fraction of the total company. But still, once you're an investor in a company, you share in the money that the company makes or loses. If the company is doing well, your shares become more valuable and you make more money from your investment. On the flip side, if the company is not doing well, your shares become less valuable and you could lose money. So, what's the secret to making money in the stock market? Ideally, you want to buy shares in a company when they don't cost too much, which is usually when the company is new. Then if that company grows and makes money, your shares become worth a lot more. For example, before Roblox went public in January 2021, they were selling shares to private investors for $45 a share. When they went public on March 10th, 2021, their shares started at $64.50 and were up to $73 a share the next day. The shares that were bought at $45 are now more valuable because the value of a Roblox share is more. So how do you actually get money from your investment, you may ask? Well, when you sell a share that is worth more money than when you bought it, you make money. But it's a risky game. You never know when the value of a stock will decrease and then you can end up losing money. The stock market is certainly unpredictable, but a good rule of thumb is the longer the investment, the better chance to make money or recover any losses. As long as kids keep playing Roblox, chances are it's a good company to invest in. Unlike MoviePass. R.I.P. MoviePass. For now, I'm Oscar, and I hope you learned something about companies going public, investing, and the stock market in this week's edition of NexGen Finance.
Hey Trenton, how was lunch today?
Egg salad sandwiches again.
Ugh, not again.
I can't take it anymore.
You know, I was just reading about Amazon employees in Bessemer, Alabama, who are currently voting over whether or not to join a union, which would be a first for Amazon employees. Yeah, they're saying that working for Amazon is like walking on eggshells because they feel they have so little job security, and they're also angry over working conditions related to health and safety during the pandemic. Amazon warehouse workers are also under extreme pressure to pack boxes quickly, in a matter of seconds, in fact. Bathroom breaks are allowed, but taking them decreases their packaging rate, so it's a tough situation. These are just some of the reasons Amazon workers in Alabama are trying to unionize.
That's it. We should join a union.
Text Oscar. We're walking out and organizing. What do we want?
In and out.
When do we want it?
Lunch.
What do we want?
In and out.
When do we want it?
Lunch.
Whoa, wait a minute. What's going on here, you guys?
We're organizing and joining a union.
We demand better lunch conditions.
You know that we ordered In and Out for the next shoot, right?
You did?
Yeah, did you want something else?
Huh?
Just let us know whatever you want and we'll get it for you. Okay.
Oh.
Well, it's good to know our bosses understand and care about our many needs, and all we need to do is ask. You okay?
Hey, did you call Oscar and tell him that the protest is off?
Oh, yeah.
Where is everybody?
Oscar, are you there?
Trenton, where are you? I'm outside.
Oh, right. Yeah, we're good. No need to unionize today.
I see. Maybe I didn't see your text that it was off.
We're good.
Well, while I was waiting for you two to show up, I had some time to research the history of labor unions in America. You see, workers began organizing into labor unions in the 19th century, following the Industrial Revolution. Joining a union allows workers to collectively bargain over issues like wages, employee benefits, and working conditions for their members. A union allows workers to be able to demand equal treatment for all members. And if the union and its employer are not able to come to an agreement on these issues, then all union members must walk out in a strike.
Hey, that's what we did.
Yeah. Although, let's be real, their union to protect the rights of Amazon workers sounds a bit more important than our union to get rid of egg salad sandwiches.
True that. Although I don't hear about unions that often. I wonder why that is. Oscar?
I got you. Labor unions in the United States emerged as a major force in American business and politics in the first half of the 20th century. However, union participation both in the US and around the world has fallen significantly since the 1950s due to a number of factors, including decreasing public support, a couple key, pro-employer labor legislation laws, and economic globalization, in which companies can outsource more of its work to employees overseas who are often willing to work for lower wages and fewer safety restrictions. Now, let's take a look at the current situation with Amazon workers in Alabama. Amazon workers have until March 30th to vote on whether or not to unionize. If successful, the vote taking place in Alabama will be the first union for Amazon employees and would potentially open the door for increased unionization, not only among Amazon employees, but also across the board in the tech industry.
Fascinating.
I'm glad our jobs can't be outsourced.
Let's make sure to keep an eye on our lunch options going forward.
We have all the power. Trenton, I have a question for you.
All right, I'm ready.
Who are the 3 women that inspire you the most?
I love this question. Okay, one woman that inspires me is the poet Amanda Gorman. What a way with words. Another is Oprah. She just gives cards out to everybody and single-handedly put the British monarchy on blast. And finally, it's gotta be my mom. Love you, Mom.
Definitely agree with you about Amanda Gorman.
How about you, Giovanna?
I think the 3 women that inspire me the most are Kamala Harris, Malala Yousafzai, and my mom too.
Kamala Harris is a great one. Wait, who is Malala Yousafzai?
Oh my gosh, Trenton, she's amazing. Let me tell you about her. Malala Yousafzai went from a blogger to a Nobel Peace Prize winner and international hero. But how did she make that transformation? Well, it all comes down to her magic pencil and her voice. Today, let's take a look at her journey. Malala was born on July 12, 1997 in Mingora, Pakistan, located in the Swat Valley. In 2007, when Malala was about 10 years old, the Taliban, an Islamic fundamentalist and military organization from Afghanistan, started to take over the Swat Valley and banned girls from many things, including going to school. Malala's education was so important to her, and the Taliban invading and banning education really pushed Malala to find her voice and begin speaking out. In September 2008, at the age of 11, Malala gave her first speech called, "How Dare the Taliban Take Away My Basic Right to Education?" Then, in 2009, she began blogging for BBC under a different name, shedding light on what life was like living under Taliban rule. From there, Malala continued to spread her voice and appeared on talk shows and was approached about making a documentary. But as her story reached more people around the world, her identity became known to the Taliban. On October 9, 2012, at the age of 15, the Taliban made an attack on Malala's life. Luckily, she survived. This traumatic experience made headlines around the world, further adding to Malala's growing platform. At the age of 16, she spoke in front of the United Nations with the message, "Our books and our pens are the most powerful weapons." Staying true to this message, on October 9, 2013, 1 year after the attempt on her life, she released her memoir, "I Am Malala," sharing her story with the world. Then, in 2014, at the age of 17, she won the Nobel Peace Prize, one of the world's highest honors, for her fight for every child to receive an education. But she didn't stop there. In 2015, a documentary was released about her, and in 2017, she published a children's book, Malala's Magic Pencil. Recently, Malala has taken to the screen to share her voice and has partnered with Apple Plus. Let's take a look.
I believe in storytelling because it has been part of my life. It was my story that inspired so many people around the world to realize that not all girls have access to education. We hear about wars and conflicts, and we see this news on a TV, but we don't often see what is happening to an individual, to a young girl who just wants to go to school. I hope that through my shows, through the content that I produce, we can bring connectivity among people. We build that connectedness that, whatever background you are from, there's so much that we have in common that we should celebrate.
Wow, I get it now. She is amazing.
What's most inspiring about Malala to me is that she inspires others. She tells us to pick up our books and our pencils.
It's almost like she wants us to use education to fight for education.
Exactly. So what do you think, Trenton? Is Malala a next-gen person to watch?
Oh, 100%. Well, NexGen viewers, that about wraps up our show for today.
Yes, it does. We hope you were feeling a bit inspired. Maybe pick up a pencil and share your voice. For now, I'm Giovanna.
And I'm Trenton.
And we are NexGen News.
Bringing news to the next generation.